Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce, Ulhasnagar 4, Edupedia, a latest technique that is a digital platform for learning and teaching. Myself, Assistant Professor Komal Kamra. Today, we are going to discuss the topic Controlling, Module 4, coming under the subject Principles of Management for BMS students, first year, Sem 2. Here we go. Controlling. As all of us are well versed with the term controlling, we have been controlling lots of things and we might have been controlled by somebody or some rules or instructions. Let us try to understand what exactly the controlling is. Prior to controlling, we discussed the topics like the basic, primary, first, fundamental function of management. There was planning. We proceeded with organizing, then directing. Now the last topic, module 4, coming under principles of management, is controlling. Let's try to know its definition. Controlling can be defined as that function of management which helps to seek planned results from the subordinates, managers, and at all levels of an organization. We all are aware that mostly companies are being divided into various levels, say top level, middle level, lower level, and ultimately employees. Everybody, every level are given certain standards, are given certain goals, targets, objectives to be achieved. Definitely along with the resources for the purpose of achievement of those objectives into reality. So, the controlling function helps in measuring the progress, the developments towards the organizational goals and brings any deviations and indicators, corrective actions. Now, before moving into the topic controlling in depth, let us try to understand it in the simplest term, simplest way. While preparing for controlling, we are thinking or we are comparing that where we are. That means we are measuring performances and achievements. That means we can say the appraisals. How can we get on track again? That means whatever standards were set, if any deviations are there in achievement of those standards or goals, we have to take corrective actions. Where we plan to be, that is how to evaluate ourselves, that is what are our goals, what are our achievements, and what are the differences in between and how to overcome those differences. Let us try to understand the process of controlling. The control process includes simply 4 steps. First is establish performance, objectives and standards. Before moving into any action, managers at all the levels, they are dreaming or they are planning for or they are setting certain objectives and they are setting or deciding certain standards also to be maintained while achievement of those objectives. Otherwise, if an employee is achieving objective without any quality or without any level or any standard, those objectives cannot be counted as achievement and he cannot be rewarded. So, first step is establishment of performances related to objectives, and along with objectives we are setting certain standards, basics beyond which a company or an employee should never fall. After this, step 2, measure actual performance. After establishment of objectives and setting standards, instructions are given, resources are provided to the employees for the purpose of beginning or actually converting the objectives into reality, which we will be calling as measuring actual performances. That is what has been performed by the employee. Third step, comparing actual performance with the objectives and standards. As we discussed in the first step, we are setting objectives and standards. Second step, we are performing. Third step, we have to make a comparison. The comparative statement is to be made, or a general statement or general comparison by observation can be also made. And objectives and standards are being compared with what is achieved. That means what was planned, what is achieved. A simple statement to compare. After this, if there are any deviations, any changes in the objectives and standard set, we have to take the necessary action under the step number 4 for the purpose of correcting, rectifying, modifying or improvising whatever deviations or mishaps or errors were being conducted or observed while measuring this performance. So controlling is a process which is very easy. Every time we are following, knowingly, unknowingly. Now let us try to understand what can be the basics or what can be the basics techniques of controlling to be followed. If we go traditionally classical or old techniques which were very much used in corporates, in factories and even in small businesses, those were, first is personal observation. Personal observation here refers to a supervisor or the manager or the boss or the one who used to assign some task to his subordinates, we can say the superior. He used to keep an eye, keep an observative eye over the work done by the employee. Not only after the completion of the work, but during the employee is was working, he was under observation. So personal observation, personal check and personal reviews were very old techniques and easy as well, which were done under the observation of experts, supervisors, experience or the subordinates. Second is statistical data and reports. If we want to check what was allotted in the form of objective to be achieved, we can refer to the statistical data, what was given and what has been achieved, and we can compare it with the target. That is also very easy technique of controlling. Third is break-even analysis. Break-even analysis, that where the employee has performed up to the mark what was given to him, that means equivalent to the objectives. Next is budgetary control. Most of the companies which are very much alert about spending money, they used to follow budgetary control, that is control over the expenses being made on every activity. Along with the objective, certain resources are given for the purpose of converting those objectives into reality, but everything is cost oriented. So budget was allotted, that this much budget is to be allotted for particular or specific objective. So these were the traditional techniques, but these traditional techniques are still being followed in small scale organizations or certain organizations where these techniques can be easily followed. They are following these techniques. Now let us try to understand what are the modern techniques. What is something which is going in the market, that is latest. First is responsibility accounting. The employer or the one who is assigning the authority, that is a superior, he takes care of the responsibilities being given to his employee, and accounting refers to he is keeping the complete account and record of how much responsibilities were given, how much have been completed, and how much that person has been proved to be fruitful for the company after achievement of certain tasks. Next is return on investment. Most of the companies, while discussing or deciding the technique of controlling, they offer or they give training to employees or they give resources. So whatever investment they are putting for achievement of certain target, they are checking that how much work is done on the basis of the returns or the money or the profits earned on those particular areas of investments. Next is ratio analysis. Ratio analysis is comparison between various variables, human resource, other resources and the achievement of targets. Next is management audit. Audit of management, that is how things were being managed, like a general audit, that is a check over, a verification, or we can say that the checklist or certain things which are being audited, checked properly in depth, that is the achievement of objectives can give us the result that how much in a better way management was done, that is called as management audit. Another term which has got lots of technicalities is PERT and CPM. PERT is Project Evaluation Review Technique. Whatever projects are being assigned to the employees or to the teams or any level of management, their evaluation is being done with the help of reviewing what was given, what is achieved in a critical way, in a very detailed way, that is Project Evaluation Review Technique. It can be program as well. So This is a technique in which statistical calculations are being done, formulas are being utilized, and concrete data on what is being achieved or what has been achieved is being checked. Next is CPM, critical path method. This is also being counted into the statistical formulas which are being utilized to check the level of controlling. Another is MIS, that is Management Information System. Most of the companies today, or we can say even our personal life, even the life of a small child, school going child, it is based on management, it is based on technology. MIS is helping, it is a helpful tool to DMSS, that is called as Decision Making Support System. Why? Because when we want to make decisions, we need MIS, the system of MIS, Management Information System, a system which generates information, a system which processes information, a system which supplies us with information, a system which keeps information in the database, which is being utilized, which can be retrieved again and again for the purpose of taking decisions or making certain controlling checks over the work done. So Management Information System is very much essential element coming under every type of management function. So these were the techniques of controlling. Next is why controlling is to be done. What if we do not do controlling? Whenever we are moving on the lines of importance, it means the plus points of a certain thing, certain topic. Let us try to understand why controlling is very important. Controlling is important because of certain reasons. First is making efficient use of resources. We are making efficient use of resources for the purpose of controlling the wastages as well as eliminating drawbacks coming under any management process. Controlling is also important to improve employee motivation. When we go for controlling, we check performance done by the employee, we motivate them. Next is ensures order and discipline. A good controlling technique or controlling is important to maintain order and discipline. Here order refers to everything in its place and a place for everything. Next is facilitates coordination in action. For better coordination, controlling is required. It helps in improving the performance of everybody. Controlling keeps an eye on them, helps in minimizing the errors. Of course, controlling is done to minimize errors and rectify errors if any. Helps in achieving organizational goals. The base of controlling is achievement of organizational goals. And the last importance is judging of accuracy of standards. Standards are being set and those are being compared. The last topic of this chapter is advantages and limitations of controlling. What we get if we go for better control? Advantages, insurance value of control. Yes, control gets value which is insured. That means after control we can be secure. We feel secure that our targets have been achieved properly. Basis for the future action. If we control today, our future will be better. Small size of business, it becomes easier to convert or expand the small size of business into a larger size with the help of good controlling. Facility of coordination, we can coordinate with one department, one activity with another with the help of controlling. There are certain darker sides of the controlling, that is limitation, lack of satisfactory standards. The one who is setting standards, he may not be knowledgeable, or those who are evaluating may not be satisfied with the standard set. Effects of external factors, whatever measures we take for controlling, rectification, improvisation, but certain external factors, they are putting direct impact on productivity, production and many more things. So this is a limitation. Imperfection in management. Many a times management is not perfect. They may not set certain good standards, or they may fail even if the standards are good, fail in managing, and the companies or the targets may fail. And another is limitation of corrective actions. Many a times companies and managers, they are aware of what are the flaws, what are the errors, how to rectify them, but they may not be able to use or follow those corrective actions for betterment. Here I wind up my session, and I wind up the subject principles of management with the fourth module, controlling. Thank you very much for patient listening.